the YouTube as well. Here we go. So with Mario, did Chris Pratt sound like Chris Pratt, or did he sound like Chris Pratt, or he sound like somebody else?
Regular Chris Pratt.
Honestly, I didn't. I kept trying to remember. I kept remembering. Oh yeah, this is Chris Pratt playing Mario, and I couldn't tell. Like for the most part, I couldn't tell that it was Chris Pratt. I kept having to remind myself because like it didn't sound like him. It sounded like a completely made up character. Now, if you listened closely and were like trying to like pick out like whatever his vocal inflections and mannerisms are, then yeah, maybe you could have found, like, oh yeah, that's definitely Chris Pratt. But I don't know, from the movie, I got lost enough in the movie that his voice did not really it did not really like, make me think, oh, this is Star-Lord talking,
Okay, because that was the thing, like when the trailer first released, that was a issue that many people had. Like, it's like, this just sounds like Chris Pratt. There's nothing about it that says Mario. It's like, no, it's me, Mario. None of that stuff. So
yeah, they had a lot of "It's a Me" and "Let's Go" and all that stuff, as a part of it. And like all Mario's little like sounds and ticks and stuff like that, they had a lot of that. It was a good show. I enjoy it. There was something, a character choice that they made with Luigi that I didn't necessarily like, probably because I used to love playing with Luigi.
Right.
That I didn't necessarily like, but it didn't make me not like the movie overall. Like I really enjoyed it, and hopefully there will be another one. Hopefully this will be a series of a couple of different, Mario movies.
Okay. So I guess it ended with a possible sequel maybe in place. Like it'll be easy to continue it.
I mean, yeah, it will be easy to continue. We'll say it like that. It didn't like, I don't know. I don't want to give, much away, but it didn't necessarily allude to, there's going to be a sequel type of thing. Like the Marvel movies, you would always see like a post credits, like,
right.
There's definitely going to be a sequel now. Black Panther will be back in, whatever it is. But it didn't end with something like that unless I didn't watch enough of the credits. But the way it played out, and the fact, I think like the way it played out, and the fact that we know that there's been like 30 or 40 Mario Brothers games, right? Yeah. So with that just being said, and not even counting Dr. Mario, not even counting, other connections to Mario, like Donkey Kong, original Donkey Kong and stuff like that, and Mario Karts, there's a possibility that there should be another one in the future. So I hope there is. With the same cast, I think the cast did good. So
that's cool.
All the voice actors did good. My favorite character. Dang. Who's my favorite character? Toad was good. I really like Toad.
Who's Toad played by?
I don't even know. Let's see here. Let me look, because I could look it up right here. Mario movie cast. Bam. The most random lady playing Prince. Oh yeah, Toad and Donkey. Oh yeah, Toad was played by Keegan-Michael Key.
Oh yeah.
That's why I liked him. He was good. His character was good overall, though. And then, Donkey Kong was good as well.
So Donkey Kong was in the movie?
Dang it. Yes. I'm sorry. You find out pretty early on. Let's just say that.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
Sorry, I'm so sorry.
That's all good. It's all good. I'll probably forget about it.
I'm not talking about it anymore.
It's all good.
It was a good movie, though. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So
cool.
Anyway, all right, let's get into this fun today. And 3, 2, And one. What's up, everybody? On today's episode of the hashtag Blackout podcast, it's our anniversary, 7-year anniversary of the hashtag Blackout podcast. This is episode 249. We talk about that. Got a ton of voicemails to go through. And then Jared's just going to continually spoil movies. All this and more on today's anniversary episode of the hashtag Blackout podcast. Pew, 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 pew.
That's right.
Ski, 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 ski. All right. What's up? Welcome back. And welcome back again, everybody, to episode 249 of the hashtag Blackout podcast. It's our anniversary. I am the one that they call Jalapeno J.
And I am the one they call J. No jalapenos.
Right. J, no jalapenos.
J, no
we'll
jalapeno.
call you J with the cayenne.
J with the cayenne pepper. Cayenne J.
Cayenne pepper J, yeah. And we're back at it again. Right, man, cousin, I know it's been a couple of weeks. We had some family stuff going on and all kinds of other random stuff happening. How's it going?
It's going, bro. It's got a teenager in the house now. Finally got a 13-year-old. And it's it's on. That's all I could say, man. Trying to school him on things, and you know how kids are. 13-year-old these days, they don't they want to complain about everything, and they don't pay a bill in the house, and all this other things. I try to school him and his younger brother on enjoying life while they can, while you're still young and you don't have any worries, any responsibilities except for going to school, and listening to your parents. Easiest things that could be. But you know how they are. The kids are. You know how you got two teenagers, especially you got a you got a 15-year-old boy. And
I do.
And you know how that is. Man. So yeah, man, just going through the motions, being a father and being a husband and all this other stuff. I had to do a lot of homeowner things these past couple of weeks, and it's I had to pull up my toilet to do some repairs. That's one of those things that you think about it, pulling up the toilet, because it goes down that toilet. And,
that's the worst.
So
I deal with that before. That's no fun.
So it's one of those things, man. Just going through life, man. Just rolling with the punches and delivering them right back at them. So, how about you? How was your past 2 weeks?
Man, I have to say, like, it's been great and crazy and all over the map. I can't even like name everything, but first of all, happy birthday to your youngster. And funnily enough, we sent a happy birthday message to him a couple of days before his birthday. And the reason why, and I was freaking out that day because I think the time before I like missed his birthday by like a day or something like that. And also I think your youngest son, we didn't send him a message on his birthday. I think we missed it by a day as well, just because the kids they had activities happening, and basically by the time they got back, it was time to go to bed. But we sent it a couple of days early because I set it on my phone a couple of days early just to make sure that I wouldn't forget.
You wouldn't forget, yeah.
And so like the way it sounded, it was like, man, we got this in at the end of the night. Sorry that this was so late, but happy birthday.
Yeah.
And like he responded, he was like, thanks.
Well, he's very expressionless. He doesn't really care if people tell him, hey, happy birthday. I mean, as long as he's getting something, then it'll be
Yeah.
like, cool, it's cool, you know. But
Yeah,
other than
that's
that,
funny.
he's like, oh, all right, yeah, thank you.
What he it's funny because the way that he responded is basically like the way my kids do any kind of Marco Polo or
Yeah,
video with any other family. They
yeah.
just like sit there and they stand on there for a bit and they're like, hello, yes, okay, I'm fine, thank
Yeah,
you. Like it's
yeah,
like all monotone.
yeah.
There's no like excitement behind it. Yeah.
And they turn right back at you like, what else am I supposed to say? You
Mm-hmm.
know?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And it's always like that awkward. They're looking at the camera, then they look up at you and they're like, was that it? Did I have to say anything? No, okay, I'm good.
It's like I
And
gotta
then,
go.
and then they walk off. But yeah, I'm glad we're
That's
able to
funny.
at least tell him. But
Yeah,
thankfully, he had a good birthday.
yeah.
Wow. Our past couple weeks has been sort of all over the map. First of all, you were able to churn out a
Mm,
beautiful label for our new product that's coming out on Hook Shrubs and Spices. It literally brought my dream to reality on
awesome.
paper. Now your artwork will continue to be on more products that I've already gotten pre-orders from stores for.
Sweet.
Um, so I just have to wait until the state of Utah gets off of their tush and gives me all of the shelf stability information. But I was able to submit that product to the barbecue judging contest that I did for my seasoning last year. And then
Mm,
also there's another competition that is happening that I just found out about on Friday. The deadline is this week coming up, but I still have time to get the product in. So I'm going to ship
cool.
it as soon as I get back home. And we're out of town for the weekend because the kids don't have school, A, and B, because we had to go and move a couch and some other stuff to my mother-in-law's house or whatever. So we're out there for a couple days. But yeah, so outside of that though, I was on for Hook Shrubs and Spices, I was on the Damn That's Good GUD, Damn That's Good podcast, which is a
Cool.
podcast that's hosted by Randy and Junior Salinas. They are barbecue competition cooks down in Dallas.
Oh, sweet.
And they
Okay.
travel around Texas and Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, wherever the nearby comp is that they could get to
Mm,
within a day, I guess, to perform to and talking about that last competition that I did, um, which we talked about on our last episode. But yeah,
mm,
Randy actually makes outstanding seasoning. Also, he makes some outstanding barbecue sauces, which I used in the last competition to accompany with mine. And yeah, if you look up his stuff, you look up his pages, it's called Big Salinas Barbecue.
big
Check out his
Salinas.
stuff. Yeah, he's out in Dallas. And then also they have the Damn That's Good GUD, Damn That's Good podcast. Uh, down there as well that they do every week. And they either talk about their competitions, they talk about recipes, or they have like a guest on. So it was dope to get on with them, man, and talk to them for a while. And also, uh, um, just pick their brain because it's not often that I get to talk to another seasoning maker and really talk about product without being afraid to, what's the word? Without being afraid to overshare or undershare, stuff like
Mm,
that.
mm-hmm.
So it was dope.
That's cool.
And without being like afraid that you're gonna say something and they're gonna steal your idea or whatever it is, So
Yeah.
yeah,
It's a mighty
it was
fine
dope.
chicken
So
breast they got on their page.
man, yeah, dude, they can cook some good looking food, man, and they've done really well. They've used some of our products in their competition as well.
Mm,
And they've placed, top 10, top 5 several times. So, and there's several other teams out there that do it. So big shout out to them. Also, shout out to the barbecue store in Hempstead, Texas, who is the new Texas main home of Hooks, Rubs, and Spices, where it's going to be sold. If y'all are anywhere near Hempstead, Texas, go in there and walk in there and say, hey, where the Hooks Rub at? And get something. And then buy some of their other like 3,000 products.
For real, right? Oh, man.
Yeah.
It would be dope if you could get that up in a Buc-ee's.
I'm going to tell you something, man. Speaking of Buc-ee's, I have tried. So there's a way that you could submit your product to Buc-ee's. And so I sent out, I think it was last summer, I registered for their online thing, sent out a sample box, and never got a response.
Wow.
And then I see other people in the barbecue industry that I know that now have product in Buc-ee's and Buc-ee's shelf. I'm like, they're not even from Texas. How? And it's probably because they have just like a big name or something like that.
Yeah. That's probably.
There's also like a big seasoning manufacturer that does a lot of different company seasonings, that also promotes those or not promotes, but maybe helps them market it to some of these chains and retailers. So I think that's what comes into play as well. But yeah, I was just like, really, not even a response, Buc-ee's? Like, at least you could have said, sorry, we're not going to take your stuff this time, But Buc-ee's headquarters is maybe 15 minutes from my mama's house. So I need to just walk up in there one day and be like, hey,
slam your box on the counter.
What you got on my 40, homie? Yeah, but no, man, it's all good, man. I'm growing the way I need to grow. I'm not trying to. I would love to, have it sitting on everybody's cabinet all over the world, but in God's time, that's all it is. I'm not gonna force what is not ready to be there yet.
True.
And when it happens, it's gonna happen when it needs to happen.
That's right.
But yeah, man, there's other stuff. We saw Cocaine Bear. We saw the Mario movie. My family saw Mario movie yesterday. Really enjoyed it. Cocaine Bear, I really liked it a whole lot compared to what I thought I would. So I was shocked with that. And if I look weird today, it's because I'm recording this inside of my truck in the garage, because there's no room in the house where it doesn't echo loud and there's still people asleep, even at 9 a.m. Utah time. I can't sleep that late. So yeah, but crazy week. But man, hey, it's our anniversary, so
it is.
We are going to ask. I'm gonna ask. It's me. I got the Mario going on.
Right.
So I'm gonna ask a question to you, so you can answer it.
Yes.
So since today is our 7th anniversary, I would like for you, Jay, since I know you're a big art fan, you're a music fan, you appreciate a lot of things in a lot of different ways. Name your top 7 artists of all time in any genre. It doesn't have to be just music, doesn't have to be painting or whatever. It is artist of anything. Your top 7.
My top 7.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Music.
We're gonna go
digital, whatever.
Saul Williams for, I guess, literary.
Okay. And this is in a specific order?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll take me too long to figure out.
Okay, good.
And then I'm just rambling off at the first people that come to my head, so it's not really a definitive top 7. So I said Saul Williams. I'm gonna go with Todd McFarlane.
Good one.
Let's go with Donald Dondy White, graffiti artist. Shucks, man. Who else? Lupe Fiasco.
How many are we up to now? This is like 5?
That's 4.
4? Okay.
4. Oh damn, you said 7.
Yeah,
4. Shucks. Let's go. Jeez, man, this is tough. This is tougher than it sounds. And let's go. Denzel Washington. He's an artist,
okay.
a thespian.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's 5. Dang it, Jared. Dang it. 2 more, and I can't do it. It's tough.
2 more.
Blah. Let me look around.
There's
I gotta
7
look
people.
around.
7.
7.
Hey, look who it is. Kayla.
Miss Kayla. Let's go. Okay, let's go. Aaron Magruder, even though a lot of people are like about him, is we would not have a Boondocks without Aaron Magruder. There wouldn't be a lot of things without Aaron Magruder's work with that. Dang it. And let's go with shucks. Hell, I'll go with Cree Summer, voiceover actress. Did like a ton of work.
Yeah. Okay.
The queen of voiceover. Yeah, there you go.
Respectable. That's a great and respectable list. Let me plug in my computer so it doesn't die all of a sudden. Hopefully.
And of course, if I had like a week to, and that this would probably be completely different. So
yeah. If you had a week to think about it, of course, if you had a week to think about it, but I wanted to get you thinking right away. Let me plug this computer in. If I see it's about to die, I'm going to have to get out the car and go sit somewhere else. All right. So that's actually a really good list. That's who of all of those artists you just named, while I'm trying to relocate this computer, who is your favorite of all of those artists?
Oh man.
Who's your top?
Motion detected in the front.
I'm gonna have to say I'll probably have to say McFarlane. Yeah.
Okay.
McFarlane, and it's just his whole story. Him, you're talking about somebody that has a relentless pursuit of getting things done. The man, I could remember, I have his book, him constantly submitting work and getting denied until he got that one break, and he just shot straight to the moon with that. So has a whole like just empire. That's what I wanted to say. Got whole McFarlane Studios, McFarlane Toys, McFarlane everything. The man's like a rock star of the comic book world, And of course, I missed my opportunity to meet him. I was like probably 10 people away from meeting him at the Comic-Con. I was gonna try to take a picture, get him to wear my comic book jacket and sign his book for me. And then all of a sudden it's like, Todd has to go now.
Oh, that sucks.
And then just crush my dreams. So yeah. Crush my dreams. But
that's a good list though. That's a really good list. That's a highly respectable list.
And what's funny about that? I said Saul Williams at first, and my wife reminded me about this a few days ago. Not a few days ago, maybe a few weeks ago. Like there was one Christmas, I bought like books for people, and I bought a book, and I gave it to your mom, and I wasn't really thinking about it back then. Book was titled "Said the Shotgun to the Head," and I did not think about the relationship, just the words, because it was a great book of poetry and stuff like that.
Literary book, yeah.
Yeah, it was just a great book of poetry, and I did not think about the actual just the what it would come across being the title of the book, and then you get to like a family member, said the shotgun.
Did my mom say anything?
No, I don't think she said anything. She, your mom's she's like, oh, thank you. I don't know if she ever read the book. And it like dawned on me just a few weeks ago when my wife said it, and I was like, oh crap, I didn't even think about it like that. Because she started laughing, funny. And I'm laughing. I'm like, crap. Oh well, that was years ago.
Yeah, so. That's funny. Yeah, I don't remember. She never told me anything about that. But yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, wow. So you just named off 7, and I was hoping that would give me time to come up with 7, but then I realized my computer was like, you know what? I'm about to die, so you need to plug me in. So I had to reconfigure where I was sitting, trying to avoid any potential scorpions. So maybe. I don't see any, but that doesn't mean there won't be any. But I'm going to sit on this little chair right here. I'm going to put my feet up. And that's the only thing I was going to be scared about, my feet on the ground. I just have a different configuration. Okay. Let me see. Hold on. Let me get there we go. Okay. So my top 7, though. All right. Well, you already named one of my top 7, Denzel. Denzel will always be in there. So top 7 artists of any genre. So Denzel would be one, or be in there as one of them. I will also say Denzel is one of them. I would say as far as painting goes, Salvador Dali. Always been a fan of that crazy artwork. And then Shakespeare, just because I did a lot of Shakespeare plays. Mm-hmm. And then, wow, now it gets hard. Because I thought I had it. Michael Jackson.
Okay.
Just for everything he did. Let's see here. 7. So I'm at 4. See, I'm at the same point you were at earlier.
Yeah. It's
and
tough.
I'm starting to slow down mentally. Wow. Trying to think of okay. I would say Diana Ross. Diana Ross was outstanding. And then I will say Sports Illustrated swimsuit model Tyra Banks.
Okay.
Because that's an art.
That is.
She got me through a lot of days back in the day. We'll say like that.
She got a lot of men through a lot of days.
Way back in the day. And then the last one I want to add, but not necessarily the last but not least. We'll say it like that. Last but not least will be Bruce Lee.
Okay. Yeah.
He's a martial artist, but he's also an actor.
And a philosopher.
And philosophizer. And yeah, of all of those, my top would definitely be, dang, I didn't even think of the culinary arts. I could have added somebody else, but it's all right. Of all of those, though, I would have to say Denzel would be my top. Just because he inspired me back in the day to be a better actor. When I did that a lot, and that was like a huge part of my life for such a long time. So I'd have to give him tops. From back then. So there you go.
Have you ever looked at Denzel and said, this guy, I don't want to say is the same person every movie, because he's not, but you could hear it in his voice that he's like the same guy every movie.
Yeah, you could hear the same thing. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, and there was so many movies like that where he did the same, where it seemed like he was the same thing. And that's what Will Smith gets a lot. You always hear the same like Fresh Prince style or whatever it is, even as he's gotten older. And that's why it took so long, I think, for Will Smith to really like get an Oscar until he finally got one. But I hear Denzel's voice, every like it seems like Denzel plays the same character almost every time, regardless of the character.
Like, do we give Lawrence Fishburne his props too? Because he's like,
man, as he should.
He's amazing. He's amazing.
He should get it. It's this is the thing, man. Being a performance artist, I guess, for like movies and TV, it's very hard if you became wildly popular for one character or maybe a set of characters that you did over the course of a couple of movies or a couple of projects. It's very hard to break the mentality of somebody thinking of you as that same person. It's just like the child stars, right? That's why child stars don't always pan out to be grown-up stars. It's because we got so in love with Kevin McAllister playing Home Alone that when Macaulay Culkin decided to do something else, it's like, nah, you're just Kevin, bro. We can't separate you from that,
we were able to separate. We were able to separate Cowboy Curtis from all Lawrence's other characters.
Oh my gosh, I forgot Cowboy Curtis from people.
We love Cowboy Curtis.
We love Cowboy Curtis.
And then he went straight to drug dealer in blue cover.
And then he was in the Matrix giving out the blue pill and the red pill.
It's crazy, right?
No, man, it's so hard. And I think one of the few people that we're able to do that with, like from childhood stars, was Alfonso Ribeiro, going from, the kid in Silver Spoons, and many other things that he did, that were tiny outside of that or big outside of that. And then to Carlton, when he made a sort of a shift from being that same kid.
And now everybody just knows him as Carlton.
Yeah, him as Carlton Dance. And then my kids know him as like the guy on America's Funniest Home Videos because he posted that for so long. Yeah, as well. But yeah, man, I look at Denzel though, and I see that a lot, and it makes me sad because Denzel probably should have won more Oscars than he has for several of the movies that he did that he didn't win on. And I think it's because people have that same connotation of, the way they saw him in Glory was the same way they saw him in like The Equalizer, was the same way they saw him in Training Day and American Gangster. Like they all think it's the same character, even though he played a markedly different character each time. Yeah. They just hear the voice and they're like, oh, that's the same thing. One thing, just like you were just asking me earlier, just before we started the show, was did Chris Pratt in the Mario movie sound like Chris Pratt, like from Guardians and from Jurassic,
The Office,
Parks and Recreation,
Parks and Rec.
Yeah. Did he sound the same? And I said no. I mean, I could definitely tell a distinction there. And then I did find myself a couple of times trying to say, oh yeah, that's Chris Pratt. That's cool. So it's with Denzel though. Yeah, man, it's been tough, but I mean, shoot, he's done a lot of great movies. So
that's cool.
To Denzel, the homie. Good. He's not my homie, but
wish he was. Man, speaking of acting, and this is just a random. What do you think about the whole Jonathan Majors situation?
So Jonathan Majors. So the last I heard, Jonathan Majors was. Was he arrested for domestic violence or something?
Yeah, they arrested him.
It's interesting. So what is the latest? Has he been
The latest
charged with
is
anything or what?
he had not been, I guess, officially charged or found guilty of anything.
Mhm.
I've been seeing lots of, I guess, rumors and news that he is dropped from all the commercials and stuff that he was featured in. That he may be dropped from his role as King the Conqueror in the Marvel movies. So they might. I don't know if that's like 100% confirmed.
They're waiting.
Yeah, they may be waiting. But what else did they say? There's another agency that dropped them well. So it's just all going downhill just from that one situation. Is he completely 100% guilty? I don't know. There's more women that have come forward saying, "Oh yeah, he was abusive and stuff when we were in relationship and stuff like that." And that's one thing I really to this day I don't understand. Maybe because I'm not a woman or have been in that situation. Why come forward years later after something happens just to say, "Hey, he was doing this"? Maybe I'll never understand it. Maybe it's not my place to understand it. But yeah, it's just wild, man, how all this is going, just spiraling downhill from such a I guess a promising actor. I watched him in Creed 3, man, and he was incredible. I felt like that was more his movie than it was Michael B. Jordan's movie. So it's just wild.
The sad thing, the wild thing is, man, sometimes you have movies like that where they have, like obviously like the top billing actor, which would have been Michael B. Jordan.
Right.
But this is like the movie where it's like the coming out party for another actor. Either it's the co-star, it's the villain versus the hero, or the hero versus the villain. Like it's somebody else's coming out party style movie. And this is the one that they, even though you've been in other stuff, this is the one where they really truly feature you, and they write the movie to where you should become a star, a mega star after this movie. And that's what Creed did. And then on top of that, he has the Quantumania, coming out from Marvel, which is still, it's still the most popular, comic book character style movie set up right now. Right. So, or series now. So this was supposed to be his moment right now,
Supposed to be.
The other one that I can remember that is maybe more recent that can relate is Brie Larson playing Captain Marvel, and then of course she was in other Marvel movies. Even though she did other stuff outside of that, that really introduced her to a whole lot more people. And then now you see her on what is that, like a Chevy commercial? I don't know what, but you see her like on all these random things, and then she's doing other stuff now, which I just saw a preview yesterday with her on the movie. But when I look at the Jonathan Majors situation, man, it makes me sad because, something happened there, one way or the other. Something happened. It seemed like either they got into an argument and, maybe a physical altercation happened. Maybe it didn't. And the girl was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to call the cops, So maybe something like that happened because she knew that.
But I think he called the cops. Did he call?
He called it on her?
I think he. Dang it! I'd have to try and find that. But for some reason, I want to feel like he called the cops. They came, but somebody had to get arrested.
But they came and they got him though.
Of course, so that's usually how it goes.
Yeah. So she must have claimed that he did something or something of that nature. But anyway, you get to that point and it's like it's like palpable, like you could taste it. It's literally like, it's like my precious is right there.
Okay.
It is right in front of your hands. And maybe you're touching the precious. And then the precious gets taken.
Yeah. Okay. So he called the cops because he was worried about his girlfriend before being arrested on assault charges.
So he was worried about her doing something to him?
His girlfriend. So let me try and read through this. It say, according to them, the woman, his alleged girlfriend, claimed that she was assaulted by him in the cab while coming back home from a bar. And the arrest was made immediately following suspicions of harassment, strangulation, and assault. The woman, who had minor injuries on her head and neck, was promptly escorted to the hospital. So I'm assuming if you see some type of injury to the other person, then the opposite person has to get arrested. And it's probably the victim of an altercation with the woman. Yeah, this article is like super long. So still gathering evidence. The evidence proves that Mr. Major is entirely innocent. And a New York PD is required to make an arrest in these situations. And this is the only reason Mr. Majors was arrested.
Yeah, that's true. There's some states where if there is a claim of some kind of domestic abuse, they have to make an arrest for the on behalf of the plaintiff, right?
Yeah,
they have to make an arrest, and then they sort out the details, and they could drop the charges, or they can basically let you free and you be exonerated without even having to go to court if they get it solved before then. But yeah, it's a wild situation, man. It just sucks because he is right in that moment. And right now, today, because of all of the stupid stuff that's happened in the past and all of the people that have gamed the system in the past and have gotten over on these same situations, he's having to suffer for it. And anybody out after that having to suffer, because right now, it's like the jump to conclusions, Matt, from Office Space, right? People are immediately jumping to the conclusion that he did something. Yeah. Or anybody has done something in this situation, even when there's no proof and there's no evidence.
Right.
And even if there's some minor evidence, like, if she, and I am not excusing anybody who is a wife beater, who is a husband beater. I'm not excusing anybody, child beater, whatever. But if she has any kind of injuries, and they saw that and they didn't see him with any injuries, then guess what? They're definitely going to detain and arrest him to try to sort out the situation. Yeah. Now, so that's the part. That's the part that sucks. And I mean, it'll come out one way that it'll come out. But you as the person, you as the actor, that's it, or you as the man or the other individual in the relationship at that situation, but especially you as an up and coming actor, you have these 2 movies that just did well. You have more in the can. You have more projects. All this other stuff that you have going on.
Dropped.
You have to think about all of that stuff. You got to take the human side element out of it and think about your professional side and be like, should I raise my hand to this man or woman? Should I do this other thing? Should I do that other thing? Because all of that stuff, you're like right at the top of the mountaintop, about to hit the summit, and then all that stuff is going to bring you right back down to the bottom.
Yeah, dang, it's terrible, man.
And that's a sad situation.
Yeah, so they say he's been dropped from his talent agency, Entertainment 360, and his PR firm. Wow. He's lost several lead roles, including an upcoming film adaptation of Walter Mosley, The Man in My Basement, which he was supposed to star in and executive produce. He's dropped from Texas Rangers ad campaign, U.S. Army advertising campaign. Valentino Fashion Company would no longer be working with him. So it's just all going like downhill for him.
This is what's wild, man. There's 2 things when it comes to that. Either something did happen and they're letting everybody know about it, so therefore that's why everybody's dropping them, or these people are all jumping to conclusions because they see the allegations. They don't want the negative connotation. They don't want the negative press.
Yeah.
In case it is true.
Right. That's exactly it.
So they're jumping ahead of the game, which for me personally, I would be like, you know what? No, let's see what the facts are. Let's see what the truth is. And then if indeed something did occur, if something did happen, then you know what? You're getting dropped and we're canceling everything. But for right now, every project that we have you as a part of is going to get paused, and we will, or it will, be taken off the air or whatever it is, whatever the it is that's appropriate to that situation. And we're going to wait and see until what happens. Because there's a lot of these situations where if they would have taken a wait and see attitude, then, and the person was exonerated, or, they found out it was like, oh no, this was a misunderstanding or miscommunication, or, the other person dropped the charges because it actually went down differently. And then that person's, out of luck and they got to restart, So I would have just paused everything, honestly, if that was my company. And then if somebody came to me with a question like, well, why didn't you drop him? I mean, everybody else dropped him. I'd be like, I want to wait and see what the facts are. And if the facts come out that this person did what he's accused of, then yeah, we'll drop him for sure. But in the meantime, innocent until proven guilty.
That's right.
That's
right. It's sad, man, seeing this dude go down like that. My wife and I started talking about what's the other guy, Nate Parker. I mean, that's like a whole different case in itself.
I don't even know who that is.
You're Nate Park. The last thing he really was in or even starred in, I think he directed it or produced it, was that, remember the Nat Turner movie that came out some years ago?
Yeah, I didn't even see that though, unfortunately.
Yeah, it was pretty good. And he was a promising actor, man. He was a good actor, but some things came out about something where he was on the wrestling team back at his college. I think he went to Duke, if I'm not mistaken. Might have been Duke. I don't remember, but he was on the wrestling team, and apparently, allegedly, I'll say allegedly, even though there's like more facts and things that came out. He and another guy sexually assaulted a girl. Yeah, I guess some years later she ended up committing suicide. But
dang,
yeah, man, it's a big story. This was like his girlfriend at the time. She was apparently she was drunk, a little bit intoxicated, and I guess one thing led to another, and her and him were having sex, and then I guess things stopped, or maybe, and apparently she called in another friend, one of his friends, or he called in another one of his friends, and they, got double teamed her. And apparently she said she don't remember, but the other sources say, hey, she said she was all into it. So I don't know. I wasn't there. I can't confirm. All I could do is read the reports and comment on it. But yeah, that was years ago.
Oh wow.
So another actor down the drain. Another promising actor went down the drain.
Yeah.
So it's wild, man. It's tough for them guys.
Yeah, I see that. Man, I don't know, man. If you did the thing, man, then you definitely need to go down for it. Like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
You just don't do stupid stuff. One that I think about in that scenario, who was up and coming, Juicy Smollett.
Juicy Smollett.
Juicy Smollett. Yeah. And his sister Journey, whatever her name is. Yeah. She has to now live with the fact that her brother's a sucker. I don't know, but no, man, it's a sad situation for anybody involved in that. And really, you got to think, man, if you're on the precipice of whatever that is, and whatever it's called, huge opportunity is like literally right there. You got to think before you do some stupid stuff. Now, in the situation with this Nate Parker dude, this happened back in the day. So it was a past situation, which also now, can come to the forefront because people are, finally having enough courage to talk about it, after those unfortunate events, however they went down. And so something like that, I mean, you got to own that. If you were a part of that, you got to own that. Unless there's somebody with the actual true story, that is, because there's always three sides of the story. He said, or like A side, B side, or A side and C side, and B side is actually the truth because it's right down the middle. So yeah. It's just wild, man. So hopefully that plays itself out in a positive way, and they're able to. Hopefully, it was a misunderstanding or whatever it was in that situation. But if he indeed, did injure his girlfriend, this is Majors, Jonathan Majors, then man, he got to go down, man, and it sucks.
Yeah. But then it
is what it is.
Then you got Ezra Miller on the other side. I still got his ass moving out. Ain't nothing happening to him. Doesn't seem like it.
Mm-hmm. There's a double standard.
Yeah.
There is a double standard. They still have a connotation for, black men to be aggressive and all this other, all the other negative connotation and criminal and all this other stuff. Whereas if like a person of another color does something, I think blacks and Hispanics, they have that same connotation too. But if a person of other color does it, then it's like, oh, we'll put this on hold, but we'll keep all these projects, going. It's definitely a double standard when it comes to that.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
Unfortunately,
even though what didn't Ezra Miller like drunk drive or something like that?
There's a lot surrounding him
and killed, hurt somebody. I don't know,
dude. I've read everything, and don't quote me on this, people. I read everything from him. Of course, the drinking and getting in fights with people at bars to possible kidnapping to other there's quite a few things surrounding Ezra Miller.
Yeah, kidnapping should be the thing. Also, if you got in a fight with somebody at a bar, there's definitely a video of that happening because they have videos in every bar now, or camera, in every bar now. But kidnapping someone, I mean, that could almost be seen as worse than some of the other stuff, that's out there by some other people. But like kidnapping and holding hostage, I mean, you think about like the R. Kelly situation, like, come on, man. They gotta, like I said, innocent until proven guilty. So put his stuff on pause, but dang, with all of these people, regardless of the situation, regardless of the person you were talking about, who is the main lead character, think about the production crew, think about the other actors or performers or the other writers, like everybody else that's involved in this production that's now either canceled or paused or or whatever it is, or taken off the air. All of those people are now affected because their money's affected. Their livelihood and their potential to grow in whatever genre that is affected because you take away if who is it? The thing you're talking about with Jonathan Majors, you said like a couple of those companies like basically dropped him. So think about all the other people that are in those projects, every actor, every director, writers, producers, casting agency, anyone else involved in that is now out of a potential paycheck. Now, that's not to say that they're not going to create that with somebody else, because they most likely will in some other way. But that opportunity may have paused and changed. So the audition you could have got today potentially isn't going to be there in a year because they're going to shift to like a different whatever when it comes to it. So, man, that sucks, man. And it's just wild. It's wild. It's wild. So hopefully they get that sorted out. But
yeah,
it is what it is. That's a good question, though. But hey, let's see here. So I know we're talking about our seventh anniversary, and I think we finally, on our Instagram, have a couple of viral moments, a couple of viral videos that happened.
Very strange, man.
And oddly enough, both of them have like some kind of like political connotation, which is not really our show at all.
Absolutely not.
It hasn't been for some time. But one of them is something that we reposted. Man, let me see what year this was. This was
last year, huh?
Well, I'm thinking about one here. Let's see.
Oh, okay.
So one from the Daily Show. One from the Daily Show, which was the State of the Union. Do we even have any comments on this? How do I tell? Oh, wait, here. Let me look at this. Dadgummit, Jared. So it's the State of the Union, but it's called the State of Our Union, and I reposted it from Comedy Central. And this was like, Comedy Central doing a play on, what do you call it? I don't know, a play on like a TV show introduction from like the mid 90s, almost like Full House or Family Matters and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah, so we got, let's see here, we have like over 1,000 shares on that, and that video has 21,000 plus views, almost 22,000 views. And then as of late, we have one that has more than doubled that, whereas this guy right here. Let me see if I'm going to turn it up so y'all can hear it.
Gas prices way too high. Vladimir Putin needs to die. Gas prices is way too high. Vladimir needs to die. I'm the truth in the booth. Take a picture. I'm a winner. I'ma eat you for dinner, okay?
some random white dude who went to the Plano, Texas, City Hall. What do you call it? Like the city. I can't even say it. Like the city. The weekly
council
city hall
or
meeting
something.
or whatever. City council meeting. Yeah. And he gets up there and does this rap about Vladimir Putin, and the gas prices being way too high. And I don't know what happened, but here lately, like the past, month or so, we've seen like a ton of people liking this, sharing this, making comments, over 200 comments. We have 4,500 shares of that video, 17 plus 100 likes. And then the wild thing is, and it's 47,000 and counting.
Crazy
views, right? And then if you click on the audio on Instagram to see what the original audio is, that is actually trending now. It's an upward trending.
Yeah, a lot of people remixing.
Reels. Yeah, and then 77 remixes of the reel or something like that. So that's wild, man.
This was posted March of 22.
So crazy. You never know, man. Man, gas prices,
they are too high.
Stay high. And then, this one is really weird. It's like a little baby that they place the music upon. Like, what are they doing?
That's funny.
Why? But yeah, whoever that dude is who created that, hey man, thank you for for giving us something to laugh at.
Yeah.
And for other people to laugh at as well. Definitely appreciate that. But yeah, man.
Wow.
Who cares about going
Never
viral with our own amazing content and with those outstanding pictures that you put up there? Who cares about that?
Yeah.
Goodness. Yeah.
Oh boy.
It is what it is, man.
Yeah. So I got a question for you. A couple questions I've been writing down.
Go for it.
And so out and about, driving, picking up my kids. Yeah. I have something came across my mind. Do cops have to take fitness assessments every year? Because I've seen some cops that just kind of let themselves go. And butts and guts is the only thing I could actually say.
Butts and guts. You know, butts and guts is funny for multiple reasons.
Lots of butts and guts.
That makes me
Because
remember.
I was like stopped.
Girl from back in the day.
Yeah, I was stopped by a cop probably like a couple months ago, and she got out the car. She got out of her little SUV, and I'm just thinking to myself, how are you going to chase somebody if they start running?
Yeah,
you know, because
that's funny.
I mean, yeah. And then there's a cop that's at my kid's school. His gut is like, oof, man, bruh. I mean, I don't want to body shame nobody, but I would, you know, in my head, I think a cop's supposed to be physically fit to you know, to be able to, you know, handle any type of situation.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just very confusing to me.
Yeah, I know that they are supposed to take physical assessments. I don't know how often it is. I know, you know, military people, like a buddy, you know, was in the military for a long time, and I think they have to do one like at least once a year in the military. So I wouldn't be surprised if cops had to do the same thing, you know, and do like the PT test and like, you know, the shooting test and all that stuff.
I see a
but yeah, there's some of them, boy, that it definitely seems like they find a way to get a what do you call it? They get like a not an exclusion, but like a whatever it is where you can like get out of it. Yeah, they get a pass. I don't know, man. Yeah, there's some of them. I know the ones who like work at the schools though, like they ain't got to go that far, you know, because they're all at the schools. But then again, they are still police of the law and they have other duties. Yeah. Even if you're trying to catch a kid at the school, you know what I'm trying to say? So
maybe he just shoots real good. I don't know. Let me not say that. Knock on wood.
Yeah, let's hope not. But let's hope so. Only for criminals, like
only for criminals. Right.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That's a good question. I would think that they do though. I would think so. If it's anyone that's protecting one of my kids, I would hope that they are fit enough to chase down whoever needs to be chased in the situation.
Oh man, goodness.
That's
okay. What other question you got? What other question for you? And I saw this on Instagram. Okay, let's say you were able to travel back to the past. 25-year-old you got into a fight with 25-year-old your dad. Who would win?
Wait, 25-year-old me
versus 25-year-old your dad.
25-year-old my dad?
Yeah.
Man, my dad would destroy me. I'm gonna tell you the reason why. There's two reasons why. Even though I was working out still and stuff like that when I was 25 years old, I was fit enough. My dad is country strong. My dad was like
I was just about to say that.
Even in his older ages, there is nothing I could have done. Like if my dad would have hit me, you know, when he was like 60, he still would have hurt me. So I truly believe, especially coming from Mississippi, you know, my dad would beat me down.
Yeah.
What about you?
Oh yeah. My dad was fresh out the Marine Corps, fresh out of Vietnam, so he probably would have strangled me to death or knocked me out. And it's wow. Yeah. They used to tell me stories when I used to go because he was a policeman at one time. And you walk into the precinct, there's like the cinder block wall, and there was like this big chip in the wall. And the story was that, you know, they were bringing in my dad and some other people were bringing in someone for an arrest. And the guy swung on my dad and missed him. And my dad swung back. And I guess the other guys kind of pushed him to the side and his fist hit the cinder block wall. And
your dad's fist did?
Yeah, and put that chip in the wall. So I could only imagine what he would have done if he would have hit that guy, let alone me.
He didn't break his hand?
No.
That is some muscle. That is some country
muscle
strong. and you know, that is some what do you call it? That is like some I guess some strong bones. You know, they had some good milk down there.
Because you know they used to drink milk straight from the cow.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I look at his knuckles now when I go to visit, and his knuckles look like big old like marbles, man. They like these big old solid balls in his fist.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's probably where he did it.
Wow stuff. Yeah.
That's probably what happened. His knuckles swole up and they just never got fixed.
Yeah.
No, man, that's why. Yeah, no, my dad would have destroyed me. So yeah, it'd have been over quick.
And I'm pretty sure it'll be the same thing when our kids get 25. We'd probably destroy them. Yeah.
Probably. Well, I mean, hey, the way things are going right now with AI and all that stuff, our kids will be just like in the movie WALL-E, just sitting on them dang scooter things.
Rolling around.
Everything around. Everybody gonna be like plump and not having to do anything. So yeah, probably so.
That's funny, man. Yeah, let us know out there, people. That's a good question for y'all. Would your 25-year-old dad destroy your 25-year-old self? How about your mom? I know Memphis Diva's out there listening to it. Would 25-year-old Memphis Diva be able to scrap with 25-year-old Mama Diva?
Man, I think probably so.
Mm.
Probably so. I wouldn't be surprised.
That's funny.
Wow. All right, let's see. Speaking of Memphis, David, do you have any more questions? Do you want to try to listen to
Man, I got some other random questions. Maybe this question, this could go. Okay, I'll do it. I'll say it.
Go for it.
And this is an age-old question. Why do women shave off their eyebrows just to draw them back on? Never knew. Everybody knows this question. Everybody's probably asked this question at some point in their life.
That's a good question.
I don't know.
I have no clue. I know that my wife used to have an aunt, or has an aunt that passed away a couple years ago. That she got her eyebrows tattooed on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my mother-in-law.
So I don't know.
Too.
Yeah, I don't know if she, had like a hair growing issue after getting her eyebrows plucked so much at some other age. But yeah, she had them tattooed. She had like several different parts of her makeup tattooed on. Wow. To where it always was the same.
That's interesting.
And yeah, man, I have no clue. Like for me, I'm like, dude, you are not putting that tattoo needle anywhere near my eyes. But especially not going to draw that on, because I'm the type of person where like I would look at it and get tired of it after like a week. I'd be like, all right, I got to change. But in that case, it's really hard to get a tattoo removed, or it hurts to get a tattoo removed. And even when she did it, it was before they had tattoo removal services. I don't know, man. That's a wild question. This is like, these questions are like those Arsenio Hall, the things that make you go,
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Back when I was in college, I had like a little email list newsletter that I would send out to groups of friends that said it was titled "What the Heck," and that was the title. And like every question was like a "What the heck" question, and it was like some random stuff that happened. So, yeah. This is right on par with that. Okay, what's your next question?
All right, last one, and it could be something to think about. Mm-hmm. Is there anything you wish you could go back and relive at this moment in your life? And the only reason why I was thinking about that, it's like earlier I was telling you, I was letting my kids know that they need to enjoy a moment in their life. And not take it for granted. Try not to grow up too fast and rush into being an adult. And
what is their response? What is their response when you say that?
They really don't have a response. They don't.
Did they say, "Okay, it doesn't matter," something like that?
No, they really don't have a response. Honestly, I think it's just words that go into one ear and right out the other. May just go straight above their head because they may not know what I'm talking about.
They don't.
But
They definitely don't know what you're exactly talking about.
no,
But
no. But I told them once they get to be my age, you're gonna look back at all these times, all these moments that you're experiencing now, and you're gonna want to go back and relive this. Just like they say, they don't like school, man. I wish I could go back and be in school again.
Bro,
You know,
I swear, same. Yeah.
so,
Wow. Yeah. And I'll tell you this, man, because the same thing I tell my kids, and my oldest kid is a couple years older than your oldest kid. So, you know, he's 15. So, like, you tell him stuff like that now, and he's like, all right, yeah, sure, whatever. Yeah, all right.
yeah,
Like, that's the kind of response sometimes.
yeah,
And I'm just like, yeah, you say all that now, buddy. But guess what? In a few years, when it get real,
yep,
you're going to be like, can I come back home?
yep.
And the
That
answer
real
going to be
hit.
from us, you know, if the answer going to be from us, you know, you need to figure it out yourself, unless you're like in dire straits, and you know that's it. But yeah, man, there's so many different situations in life where I would probably want to go back and either relive it just so I can maybe do something slightly differently. You know, there's so many. You know, there's a lot of those situations with my dad that I would love to go back or a lot of those either conversations or experiences or moments, or, you know, we're riding in the car together, whatever it is. So many of those, like there's countless number of those.
Right.
Or family situation. Okay, so recently I had to make a mini commercial about my product, the Hook Shrubs and Spices, and send it so it could be played, you know, on like this virtual like pop-up shop thing. And I included a photo from childhood that has always been one of my best memories of childhood, which was when we were traveling to Disney in California, and the year that you came with us.
Okay.
And so we're all on this photo, and my dad's holding Jordan.
Oh yeah.
You know, and Jasmine, you know, she has her hand up, you know, sort of like over her face, and you know, all of us are there. So I shared that, and that was one of those moments, man, where you know that seemed like one of the best trips of all times. You know, even though it was cut short a little bit, that seemed like one of the best trips of all time. Yeah, so that's one of those moments I'd relive. You know, there's probably several moments in college with, you know, friends or females, you know, that maybe I was like, man, I should have asked her out type of thing back then, you know, that I could relive.
Oh yeah.
And there's too many. There's way too many. You know, I'd love to relive like some of my kids' baby years, you know, and you know, I don't know, man. There's just a lot of those things that I'd love to relive. So yeah, definitely.
Good, man.
Too many.
That is good.
That's a really good question for anybody out there, you know.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, man. So that's all I had, man. Just spent the past few weeks reminiscing, jotting things down. I think I told myself I'm gonna finish this other book I had, and then I'm gonna start on another one. But you know, we'll see.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, though. I'll tell you, there's one thing, though, like, you know, talking about moments that I wish I relived. I think those moments that I do wish that I would relive have actually motivated me to do things now that I know if I didn't try it or do it now, then I would regret not doing it in the future. Right. So like a couple of these new products that I'm coming out with, one of them is a product that I haven't seen. I've seen a couple other companies do something sort of similar, but the ingredients in those products were all just sort of like different. And the way it worked was definitely different from what I have in mind. So with that being said, like, I'm like, you know what? This is an extremely unique product to the market. Some people have told me I'm crazy for trying to do it. Some people have said, you know what? Try it. see what happens. And in my mind, I'm like, you know what? I know it can work. I know how it can work. I know there's a possibility of getting some backlash, or maybe not backlash, but a lot of people being like, I would never use that, or I don't need that, or, I think it's a stupid product, like stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I know if I don't come out with it, either somebody else will, or I'll just regret it at some point in time down the line.
Yeah.
And like I'm like I told my wife before, like one time, I'm like a strike while the iron's hot type of person. And in my mind, if I visualize it in the moment, and I'm like, there's a possibility that could be a thing. I'm like, all right, what's the fastest way I could make this go from right here to reality? So thankfully I have people like you who can draw things and illustrate things and bring them to reality, in a fairly quick manner. Because there's some things I'm just not talented at, at all. And I accepted that a long time ago. So yeah, man, I think a lot of those situations back then have brought me to this. Also, speaking of my dad, he was one person that came up with a bunch of ideas, for me back in the day. And he was like, what if you did this? What if you did that? And, the fact that I know those ideas were out there and I couldn't bring them all to life whenever he could see them, whenever he was alive, makes me also want to bring the most viable ones alive now, and I'm like, these are opportunities I don't want to have to go back and relive.
Right.
Because if the opportunity is now, why wait till some other time? Yeah. So
True.
There you go. So, all right. Yeah. Well, hey, man, there's a lot of good questions. A lot of good questions. Maybe we should maybe we should have a segment every week called Jay Has Questions. And you can come with some of these wild questions that you have. Speaking of questions, we always get questions from our friend Memphis Diva 99 through voicemail.
Right.
We always get a lot of questions. Since we haven't recorded since like March 29th, we got a lot of voicemails from her.
Yes.
But I think
the MVP of the show.
Yeah, she is definitely an MVP. But I think for the sake of time, should we go back and do a handful of her first voicemails, or should we come forward and do her voicemails basically in the past 7 days?
Oh man, that's a good question. How many total are there?
So let me go back and look. So this is 13 voicemails. The past since Monday last week or this week, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5.
Okay.
And then prior to that would be 8.
It could be some great stuff in those previous 8. I mean, if we got time, man, I say let's just run.
1, 2, 3. What if we try to run through all of them?
Okay.
It did like a big answer at the end.
Yeah. Let's go. Maybe I could try to like jot the questions down.
Jot them down.
I'm sure she's asking.
Here we go. Yeah, and then with the same information, Jay, if you don't mind telling the people how they could leave us a voicemail, and then we'll crack them in.
All right, people. 3853-BLAKPC or 3853-252-2572. Give us a little voicemail, and you could be on the show, and we'll answer your questions or whatever. Let us know what you think about those questions that I previously asked. Women and eyebrows, butts and guts on cops.
Butts and guts. Ooh, butts and guts. There was a girl back in the day that we called Guts and Butts. Yeah.
Good times.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Hey, y'all. Hey, this is your cousin, Memphis Diva 99. Y'all, one of my neighbors across the street had a birthday party. I forgot about it, really. They brought me a plate over. And I was like, oh, thank you. But I know they were giving everybody plates, in our little neighborhood. So I I was like, oh, yeah, I know there's got to be some ribs in here. Ooh, I can't wait to open it. Man, I love vegetables. Right. Vegetables. I mean, thank y'all. But, you know, chicken wing or rib. And, yeah, that's what they gave me. Hey, what if y'all, I'm trying to ask y'all something like, what if they went to Walgreens and went for one thing, but got a couple of things and put something under their arm to hold, okay? And got to the counter and paid for everything and forgot what they had under their arm and went on out the store with the bag and receipt. And then when they got to their car, their same arm that had everything, you know, they had it under, it fell out. They wanted to know if you should go back in the store and let them know what happened or go home. Y'all like hard. Okay, and bye. Oh well.
Okay, that's good. All right, next one up.
Y'all, this Memphis people, can we have a meeting right now? Oh, they got me, y'all. The criminals got me. They got me at work Friday. I was at work at one of our buildings on the 4th floor, and they got me. They stole my car. They got me. They left the side window, the back window, I think, with the tent and stuff for me as a gift. They got me.
Wow.
But we got cameras and security, and they got me. Then they took my car to steal from somebody else. Then they took the car to go steal from somebody else. And so the police come banging on the door at 10 p.m. that night, and they found the car because it has a distinct bumper sticker that says microchip on the back. And it's a damn pattern lot. And I can't get it because it's under investigation. And it can't be released. It has body damage. And it's drivable. And that's all I know. And I'm just sick right now. I'm just tired of the thievery. And y'all, we don't have that law where I can kick your ass if I catch you stealing something. I gotta drag you in the house to kick your ass. Y'all, we need to go to China and cut down some of their laws and start chopping off hands. I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm stuck at home. I'm stuck at home. I'm over it.
Next.
Wow, this mess is Steven 99, and let me see the cocaine bear, the crack monkey. I have to say the cocaine bear because he's bigger, and he probably can't kick the people's ass who stole my car and eat their hands, so they won't be able to steal nobody else's car no more. Yep. So my car is at the impound lot, but I can't get it. It's got body damage. And it's drivable, but it was used in a little theft, so it's under investigation. Yeah. How y'all doing? I'm finally calm. Yeah. How y'all doing? But give me the cocaine bear anything. Okay, yeah. Peace out. Bye-bye.
Yeah, so she left that message a day after leaving her other message about the car being stolen. So there you go. All right, here's later on that same day.
Y'all, this mess is deal 99. I'm sitting up because I can't sleep. You know, I got so much stuff on my mind. Like missing, well, my car ain't missing, just at the impound. Damn it, hurry up, y'all. And do what y'all gonna do so I can get my car. I don't even know how it look like. I'm mad. But anyway. Y'all, they finna do the Freaknik documentary. Whatever documentary. Is y'all on there? Just tell the truth. Y'all on there? Are we gonna see y'all on there? I never watched Freaknik. I never went. The Lord knows I've seen videos and heard stories back. So I just want to know, y'all, did y'all go?
No.
What are y'all doing? And you can tell, quiet minds want to know. Okay? On that note, I'll call y'all later. I'm sitting up for eating. I can wait at this time of night. And the number 914. But I can't sleep because I'm still mad. Now I have to take the whole damn window out of my car and leave it on the ground for me. Like, happy birthday, Caleb. I'm still mad.
Mm-hmm.
Leave the Hyundai alone, damn it. My car don't buy nobody. Okay, then, good night. It wasn't by nobody, y'all. It wasn't just by nobody. I'm mad.
Yes, she is. Okay, next up. This is still like 2 minutes later.
So, Saturday, with all the chaos in my wonderful life, I had to vendor my t-shirt line at Moto Mall, second grand opening. Moto Mall is an African-American young lady named Shakila Goosey, who's opening up the second motorcycle school owned by an African-American woman. She has one that she created in Virginia, and Memphis is a second store. She's made history, really. Just want to tell you that. But anyway, so mine, car got stole Friday after work. Well, it was Saturday. I had to go to the event because I promised her. But it was really nice, you guys. So I get dropped off at home, and my neighbors are like, Miss KK, why are you being dropped off? So I'm telling them, about the situation with the car got stolen, hurt my heart. And I noticed they have a mobile barber, and he's cutting their hair. And when I woke up, he said, shit, you tired. Who is you? I said, I live right here. How long? I said, I've been here for a minute. And so, I'm telling my neighbors about my car, and they like, oh, Miss KK. So the guy goes, I'm interested in you. I just got my income taxes. Girl, I'll give you half of them if you let me take you to devil. I said, I'm good, bro. I ain't in no mood for no mess today. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. And, I got an indecent proposal, y'all. Made me feel kind of special in a way. But he ain't had no teeth. But anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.
Damn.
I was about to say, man, Kayla, this is your chance. And then she said he had no teeth. So, wow. All right, here we go. Next up.
Oh, this is season 99, your cousin Kayla, and the curse of the Hyundai Sonata. So, I got my car back. It was found. It goes to the impound lot. There was so many cars. And it's all the car service. There wasn't anybody there. Apparently they just stole my car and put all their stolen merchandise in the back seat. And well, here's the issue. The car is drivable, so they had to teach me how to crank the car up with a UV charger. And I drove it home. The headlights don't work. The signal don't work, but everything else was fine. They used plastic to cover the window. Me and my neighbors took everything out of the back seat. Because police said, that's your stuff, Miss Davis. And there were 2 laptops back there. Mine too was Packard, a brand new laptop. Yeah, I kept it. Sure did. Okay, so I kept both of the laptops. What you gonna do about it? Take it to my IT from the mom. But anyway, now I gotta get the stern column fixed, the window fixed, get some type of anti-theft device so I can take it with me whenever I get out the car. Yeah. So I'm gonna have a little glass of wine, and the car is here at home. Yeah. Okay. Y'all have a good night. Yeah. And I bought it. It was so Hyundai, because they're still in the 14s through the 18s, Sonatas, and all the little. Damn, I didn't think they were going to get me. No. Good night. Good night. I gotta ask y'all, this is me again. I just want to say I'm blessed that the car is not bodily damaged or not damaged beyond repair or And I could just think of what my insurance company would say, you know. So I'm very thankful somebody was hitting it. We can repair the window, yes we can. And we can repair all the other stuff, yes we can, yes we can, yes we can. Thank you, Lord. It's just material, but I'm thankful. It could have been worse. So if I go buy some rattlesnakes and put them in my car for theft, is that against the law? If I just go get a pet rattlesnake and let him out when I leave the car, is that against the law?
Only if he dies.
I just wonder that would be a good way to, because ain't nobody got time to be trying to save their cars and get new cars and stuff. Is that against the law, you guys? We don't have to sit around and not call you that. Can I put like a rattlesnake in there? Some buffalo fighters? But then I have to get them out. I never did that. Okay. Bye.
Okay.
That's wild.
Next up.
What up? Damn, I sound like a little sick goat. What up? Well, so today, this is after the today I got lucky and one of the people had one window that fitted my car or fit my car. And I'm talking to the mobile guy and the price is going. Man, they farmer charges $400 because the man is needed farmer charge of $3. Mine charge $175, and I thank God for that. Because getting this car fixed, and it's crazy. The insurance company, they like, well, Miss Stevenson, you know, we're in the process of probably not going to renew policies for Kias and Hyundais right now because blah, 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 blah. Those people for me to get it fixed. But anyway, I talked to the locksmith, one of the replacement guys. Do you know how much money this man has made so far? And we just at April of 2023. That man told me $217,000 he has made thus far. And I had so many questions that I was asking him, and he said, Kayla, it's just a new phase. He said, the pandemic has brought this on. I said, no, it's got to be, it's social media because it shows on how to do it. Y'all, I actually cranked my car with a USB cord the other day before it got fixed. I'm all right. I think I'm going to go into the mobile window business. Okay. No, I'm just kidding. Wouldn't know what to do. How y'all doing? Yeah. Okay, bye.
Wow.
All right.
That's Monday, y'all.
Still
you
more.
already know who this is.
Oh, boy.
Well, let me tell you about my Sunday. Sunday, I went to the Crawfish Festival. It was free. You know, you bought your crawfish, and you know they had music and all types of bands and people walking around. The weather was nice, and then my cousin said, "Can you ever crawfish? They're so good. We about to buy a bucket." I was like, "No, I ain't never had one." Yo, it was like a roach with antennas. It was like a roach on steroids. And then they did something to the hair that just sounds disgusting. And they sucked it. Wait, it sounds so nasty. And they did, and then you gotta take the head off. I said, oh, and they said, I said, it sounds so nasty. It sounds so cinematic. Yeah, I didn't have a good time. No, they had them in a bucket, and they looked like they were looking at me, and my cousin was having a good time, and I went to the barbecue truck. Yeah, I got me a barbecue sandwich. Yeah, and it made me sick because I wasn't supposed to We eating barbecue right now and bread and stuff. Oh my gosh. Y'all, them things. I'm talking y'all later. I'm starting to itch again. Itching.
She never had tried that before. All right, here we go. Next step. Got a few left.
Yes. Shabuya, roll call. My name is Kayla. Yeah, I'm not a preacher. Yeah, I ain't never in my life. Yeah, she's a teacher. Yeah. I know. Good doggone well. Y'all have seen the video of the teacher and the young lady fighting.
Yes.
The teacher looked like she didn't have no panties on and a butt cheek showing, and I just don't know if it's a porno video. But she get on top of the girl, she I don't know. All I know is the young lady swung at a teacher and it was on, and I don't know if the teacher had a skirt or rumple on, but I'm trying to figure out, what are you doing with? I don't know. So teachers are fighting back the students. So if you're a teacher, and of course you're not a woman, but if you're a teacher and a student's wrong, what you gonna do? And I know y'all seen the video. Oh, I'm talking y'all later. It's just I got relatives that are teachers, and I had a relative that actually had her shoulder knocked out, a socket or whatever, knocked out of place because her student. She was trying to break up a fight, and a student grabbed onto her arm and pulled her down on the floor. And she's a kindergarten teacher now. Mm-hmm. But it's fascinating where the kids feel like they can teachers. Yeah, fascinating. Shout out to teachers. I'm not one. Okay, y'all. I'll talk to y'all later.
Next up.
Y'all, this is my last post for the night. What in the haberdashery is going on with the women in America today? It ain't even Wednesday. It's not even Wild Out Wednesday, you guys. So I know you've seen a video of the lady, the African American lady fighting the Caucasian lady. Yeah. She called the lady word, and the black lady pooped her ass. And there's a picture, man, of her on this stoop, and she jumped off the stoop, and she got this place. And I'm not laughing because it ain't right, but I'm laughing because it's a different age and time, man. Mm-hmm. Folks can't go around calling people out their names and vice versa. First we got the teacher, now we got the boy. I tell you, the ladies cutting up. They cutting up. You know what? I'm going to bed because it ain't even Wednesday. Okay, it's Monday. All right, then. Manic Monday is what I call it. We stop on this Monday. It's just crazy. America, man, this is been on Monday. And I think I got fired from this. Yeah. I'll tell you about that later. Ain't nothing I can do about it. I'm like, really, y'all? Y'all be acting like him? Oh, man. And that just went over to Uber. Oh, I'll talk to y'all later.
Two more. This one.
All right. It's well, I had a ball getting to know y'all, and I feel like family. And hey, this is Memphis Diva 99. Like, yes, okay. And I'm sitting up here looking at television and enjoying my Thursday evening. And I just wanted to say I love you guys. Y'all keep me laughing and entertained. And I shall talk to you guys later. Look, I ain't even saying nothing crazy that happened today. See? Okay then. Bye. I'm gonna go get me some wine. Okay. Bye.
That's the best anniversary voicemail. All right, last one from just a couple days ago.
Oh, it's me, Diesel. Have you ever looked at the Freaknik?
She's still asking.
Freaknik, whatever. Have y'all ever participated in a Freaknik ever been? And I've seen some footage, but I think it's interesting. People are trying to crack that up. And, you know, the documentary and everything, but I was looking at out of Florida, Lakefront, and they had a Freaknik, and it was very interesting. Yeah, very interesting. A lot of stereo.
I see that.
A lot of good. Yeah. But it's Friday. I'm home relaxing, getting at a vision. I'm having to look at the last episode again. I'm very disturbed with that. So disturbed how they ended it. I don't know if y'all Snowfall fans, so maybe I'll talk about it. Oh, shoot.
All right, sort of broke up. So that was it. But, ooh, man, Kayla, thank you for all them messages.
Yes, indeed.
Wow.
That's amazing. So we got a lot. There's a lot to unpack.
Can we go through and do like one word answers?
Sure.
Or one word or one sentence answers.
Neighbors with plate lunches full of vegetables. Yay or nay?
I say nay.
I say nay too. Nobody want that. All right. Have you ever walked out the grocery store thinking you paid for everything, but you really didn't pay for everything?
Yes, I have. And if I was still in the parking lot, I walked in and returned it and apologized. If I was at home, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, likewise. Ditto. All right. She talked about a stolen car in several voicemails. Sorry that happened to happen.
Yeah, definitely big time sorry.
To you. That sucks. Freaknik 94. Have you ever been? We've never been. I never went.
I was too young.
Planned on it. I think the last, I guess in that era was 99. So I was probably 2 years into college. I know some friends and I had planned on doing it. We always wanted to go. Just never happened. Same with the Kappa Beach party. Just never happened. And yeah. Never went.
Yeah.
Always wanted to do it. Pet rattlesnakes in your vehicle to ward off,
or any
other dangerous animal.
Deadly animal. I am not with that life because guess what? Nope. I am not going to try to catch that sucker.
Yeah. I'm going to end up forgetting it's in there and I'm going to hit in my seat and gonna bite my ankles,
Exactly. Yeah, forget that.
Yeah. So, teachers fighting kids at school. I've seen a lot of videos. I've seen the one specifically that she's talking about, the woman teacher and the young girl student. Wow. Kids are getting a lot more bold these days, wanting to fight teachers. Bold. Yeah. So
they're definitely bold right now, and I'm not sure why. But if you are a teacher, you obviously need to do what you need to do to protect yourself and also protect the other students. So I'd say do what you need to do in order to keep everyone safe around you.
Do you think the teachers? I've read that some teachers who do, have altercations with students, they get fired. Do you think that's?
This is the thing. I don't think it's necessarily right because there are video cameras in every school now. I tell my son this all the time because he's done some stupid stuff and he got caught on camera and they called me and they're like, hey, guess what your son did? And so I'm like, dude, there's cameras everywhere, outside, inside, every angle is taken care of. So in the same situation, there's cameras inside the school. And also now everybody has a cell phone camera, which turns into something that gets shared throughout the school. So everybody has seen it. So if you can see how the altercation started, and see how the teacher, if the teacher had to get into the altercation to try to break it up, or to try to, like separate whatever it is, or if the kid or the teacher goaded the other person on, and then, whoever was the first person to swing and the other person to try to protect themselves, that's when they should make a determination. Obviously, they can get sort of like suspended until they investigate and find out. But to immediately lose your job, is the thing. But this is the other thing. That sort of empowers teachers, or excuse me, that empowers people to go and razz the other people in order to get that kind of negative reaction out of them, so they can have justification to hit another person. An adult hitting a child is never okay.
No.
In a situation like this, where you have, kids trying to fight teachers and stuff like that, like I said, if the reaction matches the situation and it makes sense, then you got to do what you got to do.
Right.
And if you get fired over it, then you're gonna have to find a different line of work, because you're gonna go get hired as a teacher anywhere else.
That's true. That's right.
Yeah.
Wow. Interesting. All right, last one. Woman fighting black lady that fought that white woman for tossing out that word.
Yeah.
Saw that. Pretty wild. I guess she got
wild.
it. She got what she deserved.
Yeah, you got what you deserve. Like she said, it's a different day and age now. You ain't gonna just call somebody out their name.
This ain't
and
50s and
just get away
60s.
with it. No, it is not like that no more. There's people empowered, and behind those punches and those slaps, there's like years of, we should have done this to you a long time ago. So yeah, I get it. Yeah, but man, Kayla, thank you so much for the voicemails.
Yes.
Big time. Thank you for being a major part of our show every week. Definitely big props, and appreciate you. And we need to get you back on the show again. We need to have like a regular, like maybe like once a month we have you on the show, just to bring your perspective and maybe actually give some color and clarity to some of the voicemails that you leave, because that way we can get into it. But yeah, thank you for that. You will not see our booty shaking on Freaknik.
Absolutely not.
Nor I haven't seen
parents.
the documentary. I need to see it. Nor none of our parents. Or what channel is that documentary on?
It's going to be on Hulu. Did you see there was some lady, I think she's suing because she was in the trailer.
Was she?
Yeah. Yeah, she's like I guess she's a grandmother now. Maybe she's a mother. I don't. She might be a grandmother now. I don't know. But hey, you did that. It's not really much you could do about it. Is there? You know how there's like statute of limitations on certain crimes. Do you think that works with stuff like this?
With video like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I know there is on crimes, but also there was something that was put out. I think there's a law that's in place that protects sort of like found footage, or any, something like that, where people have just, videotaped something at a certain time in a certain time frame, and it was like a live video or a photograph of, this day and place and time, whatever it is, that does have like protection over it. So you can't, I don't think you can necessarily like sue for anything monetary. I think you can sue for credit, but I don't think you can sue for monetary anymore. So it might just get tossed out, or she might just be able to have her name in the credits or something like that. But I don't know. Do you want to have your name in the credits?
I don't. No, you don't.
Or maybe she's just trying to get her clip taken out of that part of the video.
She probably does. But I mean, what you did, I don't think nobody's gonna recognize you from that long ago, except for the people you were there with. So
they will probably. But the thing is, it's a whole different time, man. There's so many videos and pictures from when that happened, seeing officers do all kinds of things, and people who were like just working at the event do all kinds of things, and just people who were patrons do all kinds of stuff. Man, there's so much stuff that happened back then. I don't know. The only ones that there's only maybe some officials, or maybe the only ones who need to be held accountable, because in that
Right.
role, in that position, you know what you were supposed to be doing and not supposed to be doing.
That's right.
If you're just a patron, I don't know. Freak Nick was crazy from what I heard, so I don't know what.
Yeah.
I don't know who. You just got to chalk it up to a different time. But then again, I think the only way that the only related what do you call it, like event, I ain't talked to you, Siri. The only related event was like the Girls Gone Wild thing.
Mm-hmm.
But that dude made videos and made money off of that. Whereas this Freaknik thing, I mean, it seems like a documentary, and I don't know, maybe they made money when they, put it up on Hulu. But yeah, so I think that's one of the only few things that you can relate and try to get a relatable outcome for all the people who are involved. So we'll see.
We shall see.
But that's what. Okay, people with kids. This is what I tell my kids all the time. Whatever you do nowadays, especially since there's video and picture evidence that's going to live on the internet forever, whatever you do right now, it can be brought back in the future.
Yes.
So don't do stupid stuff. And Freaknik and Girls Gone Wild, those videos are things that now live forever. And now you're looking back at your mama when she was, 19, 20 years old doing some crazy stuff, and your daddy doing some crazy stuff back then. And you're like, dang, they was suspect.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
That's all I got.
We had our version. It was called Q-Nick in the Park. And this was back when I was like later in high school, 12th grade, early college. They had to shut it down for reasons somewhat similar to this. I got a lot of video footage that I need to go and destroy.
Bro, you should just put it out there. Like make a whole
absolutely.
documentary and put it on Hulu and get some money.
Absolutely not. Too many nappy dugouts. Anyway, there you have it. Episode 249, 7-year anniversary, people. Appreciate all the love and support throughout the 7 years of doing this. This has been a ride. Yeah,
it's been fun. 249. We need to get 250. 250 coming up next week. Thank y'all very much for everything. Thank you, cousin. Thank you to all the guests, all the family, all the friends, all the new friends, newly made friends, all the friends that, I don't know, they haven't shown up again, but we still love y'all anyway. And yeah, look out for more. Definitely follow our Instagram, our TikTok, which we haven't posted on in a minute. And yeah, if you follow our Instagram, you can look at that new beautiful image that Jay posted a couple of days ago with little mini screenshots of a lot of our past episode art. My favorite of which would definitely be Trapping with Rashida Douglas. We talked about Rachel Dolezal. That has always been one of my favorites and will always be. So anyway, on that note,
we should try and get on the show.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it'd be funny.
No, maybe not. Maybe not.
Out.
I'm blacking out too. Later, people.
Ay.